What we're going to do in this video is I'm going to solve some equations based on pictures. So we're not going to go to like variables and solving equations that way yet. We're going to start off by just looking at some pictures. And these are problems that younger kids that don't know algebra could still figure out, and it helps to support these algebraic ideas. So it says the following pictures show 3 shopping bags, the contents of each bag and the price for each bag. How much does each item cost? So I just used emojis, it was easier. So I have hearts, I have smiley faces, and I have notes. And the first bag has a heart and a smiley face, and it amounts to $7. In the second bag, a heart and a music note is $8. And then a smiley face and a music note is $9. So the job here that we have is to figure out what each shape is worth. So sometimes in order to solve these, you have to like group 2 bags together. And do you see how there's like a heart in bags 1 and 2? And there's a note in bags 2 and 3, and there's a smiley face in bags 1 and 3. So I would group together bags that have like similar content in some way. So it doesn't matter which ones you start with, but I think I'm going to start by grouping together these 2. Because I could sit there and just play guess and check forever, but that's going to take forever, and I may not ever come up with the answer. So I'm going to try to do this a little more systematic way. So if I lump these 2 bags together, what it tells me is that a heart plus a heart plus a smiley face plus music notes is equal to 7 plus 8. So I'm lumping these 2 bags together. So I have these 2 hearts, smiley face, and notes that are equal to 15, right? $15. 7 and 8 would be 15. So is there any other information that I could use? I don't know what the hearts are worth. I don't know what the smiley face or the notes are worth. But I do happen to know that a smiley face and a note is worth 9. So I happen to know that that is 9. And that is what's going to help me solve this. And you would let your kids, work with this for a while and see if they could figure it out on their own. So this means that we have 2 hearts plus 9 is equal to 15. Okay, so I'm on my way to solving to find out what a heart is worth. So this would mean that 2 hearts would be worth how much? If 2 hearts plus 9 is equal to 15, then the 2 hearts would be 15 minus 9, which would be 6. And at that point, your kids should be able to look at that, your students should be able to look at that and say, well, each heart must be worth 3. So the heart is worth 3. So I have now solved for one of the shapes. I know that a heart is $3. So now that I know that, I'm actually going to use this. I'm going to kind of fill in some information here. So if I know that the heart is 3, then that's 3 and that's 3. Now I can figure out what these other guys are worth. If a heart and a smiley face is $7 and the heart is 3, that means that the smiley face must be worth 4. So the smiley face is worth $4. So that would make this smiley face $4. So then let's figure out what the note is worth. If a heart is 3 and you add a note, you get $8. The note must be worth 5. And let's see if that's true. A smiley face is 4, the note is 5, that does add to be 9. So in order to solve this, you have to think outside the box here, and you have to actually group 2 bags together, and that'll help you figure it out. And it doesn't matter which 2 bags you pick, you can do a process very similar to this to help you solve it. Usually the 3rd bag will come into play to help you do some substitution. So that's one problem that you could do, and kids will figure it out. I know it seems kind of a daunting task, but they do figure it out. Now let's try this one. This is one that's kind of similar to stuff you might see online where they put these pictures and they say, okay, can you solve this crazy looking picture? So we're going to try to figure out what a cat is worth, what a pig is worth, and what a horse is worth. That's going to be the plan. So we're going to start off, I think I'm going to start off with the row that only has 1 animal in it. So I'm going to start off with the top one. So this tells me that if you have 3 cats, you get 30. And that should tell you how much a cat is worth. Usually kids can figure out how much the cat would be worth. Each cat would have to be worth 10. So right off the bat, we know that the cat is worth 10. Okay, I'm going to try to color code this a little bit. So I'll make this one yellow because my cats are yellow. So the cat is worth 10. So now that I know the cat is worth 10, I'm going to go write a 10 on each of these cats. Okay, so 10, 10, and 10 is 30. Okay, so we got that one done. The cat's good. Now let's go to the line with the pigs and the cat. This says if we take 2 pigs and we subtract a cat, we get 22. But I know how much a cat is worth. The cat is 10. So this means 2 pigs minus 10 is 22. So that must mean that the 2 pigs are worth 32. Because if you add up the pigs and then subtract 10, you get 22. So when you add up the pigs, you must get 32. And then this would tell you that the pig is worth 16. So I use the next line to help me figure out how much the pig was. And I'm going to make the pigs pink. Okay. So the pig is 16. And so on each of these pigs, I'm going to write a 16. Because at a certain point, we can just start using numbers, right? So 16 plus 16 minus 10 is 22. Okay, so we got how much the cat is, how much the pig is. Okay, now this next line right here, so here's where I was using my equations. I'll come down here. I have a pig minus a horse is 11, but the pig is 16. So let me do 16 minus the horse is 11. Well, what would you subtract from 16 to get 11? It would be 5, and you can just sort of do that one in your head. So the horse is worth 5. Make this one brown. So I think that horse is 5 and this horse is 5. Okay. So 16 minus 5, that is 11. So I've got that right. Now all we have to do, let's look at the last line. It says 10, a cat plus a pig plus a horse would be how much? Well, a cat is 10, the pig is 16, the horse is 5. I guess 10 plus 16 plus 5 is the mystery number that they wanted, which would be 31. So that is your question mark, right? The question mark that they asked at the end is what would a cat, a pig, and a horse add up to be? And it would be 31. But do you see how I went like line by line? And it's like I started with one animal, then I went to a line that had 2 animals, one of which I already knew. And then by then you could figure out what the third animal was. So you can just be kind of systematic about it. But the point is that this is very algebraic in thought without actually having to solve any algebraic equations. So it's doable for, like, I'd say upper elementary school or maybe middle schoolers could figure these out.